The woman says to her boyfriend, "I have a problem." The man says, "I have a solution." The woman says, "I hate you. You are an awful boyfriend." The man sits down at his computer, goes onto YouTube and types, "I don't understand women," and luckily comes across my channel where I explain what the hell just happened. I'm going to make a bold prediction and say that this video that you're about to watch is probably going to go down as one of the most important videos I've ever made. And I'm going to ask a favor of my female audience members. I know that you're the minority, you only make up about 5% of my audience, but please do not stay silent on this one. I want to see you in the comment sections. If I'm wrong, please tell me that I'm wrong. But if I'm right in what I'm about to say, please back me up. Share your personal thoughts and your own experiences. Men need to hear this. I'm talking, of course, about what a man is meant to do when a woman is complaining and she's talking about her problems. How is a man meant to respond? We all have problems, both genders, but we deal with it quite differently. See, women, they don't tend to suffer silently. Men, we tend to sort of bottle it all up, keep our emotions to ourselves, talk about our problems. But if a woman has a problem, something that's bothering her, you're going to hear about it. So your girlfriend comes to you with a problem. She's not happy at her job. She's upset because her friend was mean to her. She doesn't know how to work this website. Now, a lot of men get excited when this happens because they view it as an opportunity to demonstrate their masculinity. That's what we're good at as men, problem solving. And so when our girlfriend has a problem, that's our chance to shine, to swoop in and play the hero. In the male mindset, they view this almost as like a performance review. Like the quicker I'm able to diagnose and solve her problem, the more impressive my masculinity is going to appear to be. And so I'm going to work at this efficiently and diligently and sort all of this out really, really quickly. And if I do that, she's going to be super impressed with me. All those hours solving engineering problems, playing chess, playing video games, it's just honed my problem solving skills to prepare me for this moment. I am going to wow her with my masculine skills. The quicker I fix this problem for her, the more appreciative she's going to be for me. Wrong, wrong, wrong. When you jump in and just start solving problems and offering solutions like that, women hate it. Now, often she'll understand that you have good intentions and that you're just trying to help in your own way. And so she'll just roll her eyes and think, "Oh God, men are so clueless." Or her response might be more vitriolic and she might actually get angry at you and it's going to create a fight. You're going to have an argument. The reason is that as a man, you haven't totally understood what the woman is seeking from you specifically. Let me explain. When a woman comes to you with a problem, she wants 4 specific things. And these 4 things, they have to come in a very precise order. If you mess up this order, then you mess up the entire thing. Number 1, she wants validation of her emotions. Number 2, she wants a full exploration of the problem. Number 3, she wants assistance finding her own solution. And number 4, she wants support moving forward. Okay, let's talk about number 1 first, validating emotions. For a woman, when something negative occurs in her life, like maybe she missed a deadline and her boss is angry with her, when something like that happens, it actually creates 2 issues. Yes, there is the practical issue of the missed deadline, but before you can even get to that, there is the issue of all of the negative emotions that spring up because of the issue. She's feeling guilty, she's feeling sad and depressed, she's feeling unfairly judged, whatever it is. It doesn't matter what the specific event is. What you need to understand is that for everything that occurs in a woman's life, there is going to be a corresponding emotional response. Those emotions need to be expressed, explored, understood, and most importantly, validated before anything else can happen. You cannot drive a car unless it has fuel in it. Likewise, you cannot get a woman to drive towards the solution to her problem unless she has been refueled. And the way you do that is validating and exploring her emotions. So when a woman comes to you upset because of a problem, do not focus on the details of what went wrong, at least not at first. First, pay attention to her mood. Talk to her about how she is feeling. Comfort her, stroke her, tell her that she's safe, she's protected, that it's going to be all right. Tell her that it's okay to be upset, that there's nothing wrong with her emotional response. That's your first job as a man, to create a safe space for her to explore and feel her own emotions. You cannot rush this process. If you start getting bogged down in the details of her issue and start rushing to find solutions to this problem, she's not going to listen to you because she'll feel like you haven't actually listened to what's bothering her. She will feel as though your attempts to solve her problem is actually you just being annoyed at her emotions and not wanting to deal with her. You can't do that. Women won't forgive a man who's that clueless because to a large extent, women really identify with their emotions. How a woman feels, that's like her identity in that moment. And unless you give that full support and validation, then you're going to have no credibility. Now, after that, you can move on to step 2, and that is to fully explore the problem. Pay attention. This one's quite nuanced. A lot of men make this mistake because what they do is they listen to a woman describe her problem and then they prematurely jump in with a solution before the real problem has been adequately explored in its entirety. When a woman comes to you with a complaint, you need to think of it as though you're just seeing the tip of the iceberg. There's a whole lot more underneath that you haven't yet seen. You don't actually know how deep the problem goes. And so if you rush in too quickly with a solution, you're going to get it wrong because you don't have all of the available data. You didn't take that time to find out the full extent of the problem. She's not going to be happy with you, so you've got to give her the time and space to fully explore it at her own pace. Even if it seems as though you've heard enough, like you feel like you've got a good grasp on what's going on, you've heard enough details, you know what the problem is, you know what the solution is, be humble, bite your tongue, just stay quiet. You don't know, there may be more. Instead of being quick to offer solutions, ask questions. Give her that space to fully explore the issue. With women, what you tend to find is that their problems are bigger than the male mind can often even comprehend because everything is interconnected. Like this issue is connected to this issue, which has implications for this issue and this issue and this issue. And she needs to fully explore the whole thing. That's just sort of how women are. Nothing is simple. Like as men, we might like to sort of think of our problems as easily segmented into nice categories. We can put them into boxes, but women aren't like that. Everything is interconnected. The mind of a woman is more complex than most men can imagine, and you might never experience what it's like to be a woman, but just be humble enough to appreciate that there's something going on in her mind that you as a man don't really understand. And if this is her problem, then she needs to be the one to explore it at her pace. You coming in with your overly masculine way of doing things, that's not going to play well in your relationship. So what she's really looking for is a man who has enough love for her, enough patience to give her the space so that she can explore the issue on her own terms and in its entirety. Only when she has done that can you move on to step 3, which is to help her find her own solution. Now, a lot of guys are thinking, what? Help her find her own solution? Are you serious? Like, I helped her with her emotions. I helped her explore the issue, on her own pace. Surely now it's my time. I can step in and do what I'm good at. I can give her the solution to her problem. I've known for 20 minutes what she needs to do, and I've been so patient. Isn't now, the time for me to reward myself? Can't I finally speak my mind and tell her what she needs to do? Sorry, no. All right, if you have done the first 2 steps absolutely perfectly, then yeah, you probably will have built up enough credibility that if you just want to step in at that point and say, here's what you need to do, she'll probably listen because she's grateful for how well you've handled the beginning of this. But if you're shooting for that absolutely perfect boyfriend score, then there's just a little bit more work you need to do. The end goal is going to be the same, but you're going to have to be a little bit more subtle about it because while she does want your help and she does appreciate your masculinity, nobody really enjoys being dictated to. Nobody enjoys being ordered to do something. What she would prefer in a partner is somebody who can help her brainstorm possible solutions, where she is an equal contributor in coming up with ideas. She wants to sit down with her boyfriend and talk through the merits of all the possible choices she could make. She wants somebody to bounce ideas off, someone who can weigh the pros and cons with her. And then once she's done that, she wants to be able to make that decision for herself and to feel empowered by that choice. If you take over too strongly, then you make it about you and it should be about her. She's the one with the problem. She's the one who is feeling diminished, and what you could do to help her most is to help her gain clarity over what the next step is that she wants to take. You can express your preferences. You can make your suggestions. And if she's obviously going down the wrong path or she's facing the wrong direction, you can be passionate about expressing those preferences, but you don't want to be so forceful that you take away her autonomy. Now, the reason that you should step back and play more of a supportive role is because that's what's best for her. And if you love this girl, then you should do what's in her best interest. But if that's not enough for you, let me rephrase it and break it down for you in a way that this approach is practically and selfishly in your best interest as well. If you found the whole process of listening to and validating her emotions tiring, like you really tested your patience to let her explore the problem in its entirety, then ideally you don't want to have to deal with that too frequently, right? Like, it's exhausting. And so conversely, you want a partner who's going to be as autonomous and self-sufficient as possible, right? That way she doesn't have constant meltdowns. She's not constantly facing problems. She knows how to handle herself. She's had practice at it. Well, if you always jump in and solve all of her problems for her, then she's never going to get that practice. But if you help her to find her own solutions and you just support her in that, then she's going to grow in autonomy, confidence, and self-sufficiency, and you're going to have to deal with this issue far less. So do you see how it's in the long-term best interest of you and her that you play that supportive role, that you help her find these solutions herself? Which leads us to the final step, which is support for her moving forward. Once she has made her choice and she knows how she wants to fix her problem, let her know that you're on board, you're behind her, you support her. Even if she came up with a solution herself, it's going to be reassuring for her to know that she's got a man in her corner. Because even if women, in this sort of day and age don't really like to admit it, it is incredibly reassuring if she's taking bold action out in the world to know that behind the scenes, there is a man behind her, ready to step in if necessary. She wants to know that she's got that masculine support. This is the correct way to handle those situations when your girlfriend comes to you with a problem. And ladies in the audience, like I said, please back me up. If I'm wrong, tell me why. And if I'm right, please explain to everybody your experiences. Let's help demystify this whole process so that more men get it, which will lead to happier and healthier relationships everywhere, which is the point of this channel. Now, there is one final thing that we need to speak about, and this one's really important. There are occasionally situations where a woman is so frightened or so overwhelmed that this isn't the procedure that you need to be employing. There are cases where a woman shrinks back to being a little girl, and actually what she does want is a big, strong man to come in, to beat up the bad guys, and to sort out the problem for her. She's lost, and she needs you to step up. And as a masculine man, that should be within your skill set. You should have the capacity to do that, and you should be ready to do that. The question is, well, when do you do that and when do you not do that? Like, are you meant to be playing the protective role or the supportive role? The way to judge that is based on how emotional she is. For minor issues where she's only got a small to moderate amount of emotion, then you're largely safe just playing the supportive role. Be there for her, but step back. Let her find her own way through the issue. But if she comes to you and she's in complete meltdown, then you may need to do more than this 4-step process. You might need to really step in and take charge. But trust this 4-step process for most problems. When she comes to you complaining and you handle it with this kind of sensitivity and patience, she's going to think you're the best boyfriend ever. She will trust you. She'll feel seen by you, supported by you. And that's going to generate so much love and loyalty from her. She's going to feel so much affection. She's going to brag to her girlfriends about how amazing her boyfriend is. Don't be surprised if after, a problem arises and you handle it as delicately and sensitively like this, that afterwards she's just feeling so safe with you, so much love that she drags you into the bedroom right then and there, because that's one of the ways that women express that feeling of safety. When you apply your masculinity with just the right touch, it creates a sexual response in women. Enjoy it. You earned it. Pornography is a big problem. And, fight the new drug, NoFap. It's OnlyFans. It's out of control. And there's also money laundering and trafficking involved. There's a lot of issues. But should it be banned? Like, should we just make it illegal? That topic gets a lot more nuanced because we have to balance individual concerns with social concerns. Anyway, I made a nice long video. It's on my Patreon where I fully explore the question if pornography should be banned. Do you want to check that video out? Go and sign up at my Patreon. It's just a $5 a month subscription. You get instant access to a whole bunch of exclusive content. I'd love to see you over there.